for example, the Jets making smart decisions. Like Matt said on Twitter, you don't see that very often. So Sauce Gardner and the Jets agreed to a 4-year, $120 million extension. Garrett Wilson and the Jets agreed to a 4-year, $130 million extension. And then Jermaine Johnson got his 5th-year option exercised. Jets, A+, man. Congratulations on keeping these guys. And I just got to say, during my Jets schedule prediction, did not think this was going to happen. It's just, I mean, cut and dry. Thought this was going to go past training camp and everything, and didn't expect this one. But overall, I mean, just starting off with the Jets and their moves, heck of a move. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, they got signed 2 days after each other. I mean, this makes Sauce Gardner the highest paid corner in football. Pretty well deserved. I know he had a down year, and people are a little bit souring on him compared to previous
volatile
years.
Position. Throw it out.
Exactly. Exactly. Still one of the better corners, one of the top echelon corners in the league. It's a well-deserved contract. Half of that is guaranteed. Again, as you guys see, it's 4 years, $120 million and some change. $60 million that is guaranteed. And then for Garrett Wilson, it's pretty darn close. Of his 130, 70 of it's guaranteed. That one is a lot of money for the wide receiver that hasn't quite made the step up. Now, that was a conversation we had when we talked about the Jets. Where do you go from here? Does Garrett Wilson finally take that step into that elite wide receiver that, again, we had that conversation about on the Jets episode? But again, just like Terry McLaurin, are you going to let a young wide receiver who has top potential walk out the door? No. So you're going to go ahead and pay him. I like it. And of course, I'm going to love the Jermaine Johnson 5th-year option. Big Jermaine Johnson guy. So
I just got to say, you made the elite wide receiver comment, right? Is he going to take that step into that? Garrett Wilson is probably one of, if not the, best receiver to fly under the radar because he's not on a flashy team. Look at who's been his quarterback over the last several seasons.
He's not a
dude
yet. Come on.
Okay, so we just talked about Terry McLaurin, right? He's putting up the same stats as Terry McLaurin. I mean, look at Garrett Wilson. I mean, he's put up 1,100 yards in 2 out of the 3 seasons that he's played. I mean, the guy's good. He's good.
He's
good.
Mean,
given the fact that he's gotten more catches than McLaurin, I get that. But at the end of the day, like with what he's been able to make do, I would say this: without checking the stat book, right? Without looking into exactly what happened, I guarantee you didn't think that he put up 1,100 yards last season. That was a rough season.
He put. Oh, come on now.
You maybe not, but like. You maybe, but like the casual fan, I mean, think about it. He flies under the radar so much. When you hear Garrett Wilson, you don't think about that high prospect anymore when it comes to, what he looked like coming out of college. You might. It's okay. But I'm saying the casual fan right now, looking at him just because of who he's played with, he's a Jet. Like, it's not something he's doing wrong. But like he made the money that he was deserved, in my opinion. I mean, 4 years, $130 million. Sure, it's a lot, but at the end of the day, the dude puts up good enough stats to where he can compete with that. And heck, who's to say that he can't perform higher? I mean, like I know that Justin Fields is going to be his guy, but like I mean, I think that it's justified.
That much money for him to put up 1,000 yards is my point, right? For him to put up 1,100 yards, you don't pay him that kind of money. But again, I think he has all the potential to eventually get there. And honestly, I would push back a little bit. I mean, I don't know what it is like there in Northwestern Indiana, but I think there's a big chunk of people that are actually probably higher on Garrett Wilson than what he actually is. Again, $130 million, I don't think it's a bad contract. By no means am I saying it's a bad contract. I'm just saying you pay him the $130 million with the expectation that he jumps into the top 10-ish of wide receivers. Because you'd be ludicrous if you said he was a top 10 wide receiver in the league today. You would just be wrong.
No, sorry, I'm not saying he's top 10. No.
Yes. And I think you have to be top 10 to be elite. Like, if you're not in the top 10, you can't call yourself, I don't know.
There's
That's
so many
besides the
wide
point.
receivers in the league to where I feel like calling the elite just the top 10 would be kind of like ludicrous, in my opinion. There's so many good receivers to where it's like if you've got
Good.
a guy,
Right.
I'm just saying, like, for example, I mean, at that point, you can't call Terry McLaurin elite. You know what I mean? Or like,
No,
but
he's
these are
not.
game changers. These are game
Yes.
changing wide receivers. And to me, that it's the same term. You know what I mean? Like I know that we could be arguing semantics right now. Regardless, there's a
We
third
are.
person
Yeah.
in this podcast that has yet to give us his thoughts. Matt, what are we thinking here, man?
Yeah, I mean, Ben stole it. You pay this money to hope he ascends even more. And I think that's kind of the way you think about it. I mean, what is that? That's 32 and a half AAV. I mean, that's sitting you right at the DK Metcalf number we mentioned, CD and Justin Jefferson, and then obviously Chase this offseason. So those were the only guys that are ahead of him. And three of those guys are the best in all of football at the wide receiver position. So yeah, I think there is an expectation to ascend. And it's interesting because, like, you go from the Rodgers quarterback play to the Fields quarterback play, and it's much more chaotic and sporadic. And so, I don't know. I just, you paid market value on a guy that, like, listen, lumping both Sauce and Garrett into this is there hasn't been a Jets player who has been extended after their third year, the first year you're eligible to be extended in the first round, since Muhammad Wilkerson. Not even Quinnen Williams got this tag. So this for the Jets is a good problem to have. We have good players that we have to pay a ton of money. Great for us. Like that's kind of where you're at with this, and then lumping in the Sauce like the $30.1 million AAV. Derek Stingley, who was picked number 3, the pick ahead of Sauce, got 30 this offseason. So, like, I think Sauce's agent should slide over, a check to Derek Stingley's agent and say, "Hey, thanks for making our negotiations easy," because that's all we had to do. Is just tack on a little bit more per year, and yeah, Sauce gets to parade around and say he's the highest paid corner in all of football, and then that gets you into one of my first thoughts was, how is Pat Surtain, the defensive player of the year, the reigning defensive player of the year, making 24 million AAV for the next 3 years or something like that? That was a stunner for him to, and he got paid at the right time. He got paid after the third year, but yeah, that was something that I mean, that immediately takes over my mind. It's like, I think Surtain's better, and he's getting paid cheaper. So, I mean, you got to throw that in there, too. And then lumping in Jermaine Johnson into this is like, if he could get healthy. And even for the Jets, too, is they're probably going to have a good problem next offseason when Will McDonald comes pay. When he comes due to get paid. So, I think the Jets are on the upswing. It's all about this new regime making it right.
Yeah. No, for sure.